On that front, recent developments on the Stasi police state-style front show that this is really the end of the road, and the oligarchy is going for very direct dictatorial measures at this point. Recent examples: the detention of Glenn Greenwald's partner David Miranda at the Heathrow Airport under a provision of the 2000 Terrorism Act, and the thuggish tactics employed by top levels of the British government who forced the London Guardian, to destroy hard drives in their basement under the supervision of Britain's GCHQ. Those are examples. Take Obama's ridiculous NSA review committee, including Director of National Intelligence Clapper, and then Cass Sunstein, of all people. So this, as you said in I think it was last week's webcast, this British intimidation relies on people giving in to that intimidation. Can they get away with this?
Well, that depends. As I say, you have to use your mental resources sometimes on these problems. You have to sometimes go at an indirect approach to something is too secret, too sensitive. Find the other way to approach the same subject matter. Find the construct that does the same thing for you. Now, there's some people who know this, but they know these facts, which would be sufficient for them to speak out. But the problem is, even though their knowledge is right, and it should be free for them to present in the interests of the American people, the point is what they've made a construct of saying 38 pages cannot be touched. So therefore, as long as you accept that as being a limitation you will submit to, you are crippled in dealing with this thing. I go at this thing from a different standpoint. Naturally, I know a lot of things about this whole business. I've been involved in the investigation of this, even before the 9/11 event occurred. It was on the 3rd of January of that year that I've warned former President Clinton that this was going to happen this year. And I did, extensive investigations of where is this going to come from, who's going to do it, so forth. I was in the middle of that. I was very close to getting to the facts. I didn't have these facts. I didn't have the knowledge of what the Saudis had done, what a certain bank that was collapsed in Washington had to do with all this. Because that bank that was shut down was a bank that was involved in funding, the conduit, the funding of some of this stuff. So we have the other sources. We know what the circumstances was. And sometimes trying to find a document with a signature on it is sometimes a mistake. Because the guy who's the perpetrator will find some way to prevent you from quoting the document or getting this special information. But, society has an organization to it. If you're looking for little leak secrets, you may not do anything of any importance. But if you use your head and look at society as a process and say, here's where the water is flowing. Where is the water coming from? You don't have to get a document that has the water confessing. You simply have to know that the water is flowing, and you know where it's flowing from, and you know where it's flowing to. So sometimes that kind of investigation, which I like to use, because I don't like the gossip version. I like the nice deductive version of investigation.